So sometimes I give a little too much attention to the haters, and they don't deserve it. So I wanted to talk today about some people who inspire me and keep me going and staying grounded to keep doing what I want and love to do instead of what people want me to do. Okay, first, I'd like to give credit to the person who helped me get away. And I never really got to say goodbye to him. But when it was getting really, really bad, at home, and I was really sick, and it was bad. And I didn't know where to turn or who to talk to about anything. So I decided to call a doctor that I'd seen previously, a few years before, who I felt like I connected with, but there was an issue with trying to get medicine because he had to write it through the doctor, and my doctor was a jerk, so I didn't want to fight with her. So I just ended up going to a place where they could do it all at once and make it easier, but it did not, in fact, make it easier. It made my life hell for a few years. So, anyway, I decided to call this guy. Just, I don't know what made me think of it or remember him, and I made an appointment with him. And it was just like before. He made me feel comfortable. I felt like I could talk to him in a way that I couldn't talk to other doctors. And he made me feel seen and heard. And I showed him some of the videos of some of the stuff that was happening at home. And he said, "You know this is abuse, right?" And even then I was like, "No, that's how they talk to me." And he was like, "No, this is abusive, and you need to get out of there. You need to get you and your kid out." And he was right. And eventually he helped us get out. And he also uh, he recognized things in me that I didn't see myself. And he encouraged my creativity. And he encouraged me, like who actually am not who like everybody expects me to be or wants me to be or whatever it is they see. He saw me. And then some things happened. I never got to say goodbye, and I don't know if it was him. I don't know. But I think about him all the time. And when it gets really bad, instead of hearing all the voices of how terrible I am, like you're here for me. And I credit him for saving us inadvertently. And um, I know I'll probably never need to go back or see him again, but I'm truly grateful for his help. I just look at the dad and probably, you know, like the dad I always needed and didn't get. And I don't know about Dr. Barr. He, and also around that same time when we first got out, I lost a lot of people, like all in a short span of time. It was about 5 or 6 friends, and then 3 family members. Well, mom was after I got here, but like 2 family members, my aunt and grandma, and then all these friends, really important friends. It seemed like they were all the friends that actually saw me, loved me for me, weren't the backstabby, two-faced type. They were actually supportive and loving family, and all within a short 3 year span of time. And one of those friends in particular, I really haven't even gotten a chance to grieve him because of all the shit that went down. But probably the main reason why I keep doing this. Like, I haven't even really figured out what exactly I'm trying to do with this. But I'm okay. My buddy Jeremy, we went to school together, and in high school we ran with the same crowd, and we partied a lot. We partied, and I we didn't get real close in high school, but I got close to his girlfriend at the time, and then she passed away, and then we got separated or whatever, and you know how life happens. And I started working in Chattanooga at Outback, and uh, I don't know how it even happened, but I ended up getting connected to his sister, and we became roommates. And me, her, and another girl rented an apartment together. I did not know that she was Jeremy's sister. And then Jeremy started staying over, and then he just became the guy on the couch. You know, like in Half Baked. That's kind of what it was like. It was actually one of the best, most fun times of my life. Jeremy became the guy on the couch. And that is when Jeremy and I became inseparable. He became my brother. And he became one of those guy friends that, because you know, sometimes you can't be friends with guys, like, because there's always, apparently, there's some secret, like, they want to, the whole nice guy thing, like, they want to do it with you, and then there's like a weird, like, once that comes out, there's like a weird thing, and then you can't really be friends. It was never like that. He was like my brother. And my brother, yeah, I didn't get a brother. I died. So, like, Jeremy, it was like God said, Jeremy and I were trouble together. Especially since we both had addictive personalities. And we both had terrible childhoods and home lives. And we liked to party, and we were wild and silly and crazy. And we made up this game. I don't know if we made it up, but we played it all the time. It was called Half Hour Power. We'd sit around and we'd float a ball, and everybody would sit in a circle, and you would hit the ball. Everybody hit the ball one time in a minute for 30 minutes. And you just keep passing it around, packing it, and I don't know where. I don't know, it seemed like we made a lot of money back then. And all I did was wait tables, but it seemed like we were just, I don't know, everything was easier and better. And we made a gravity bong out the bathtub. Oh my god! And there was a ghost in that apartment, and it didn't like me, and it didn't like him. At one time, we were sitting out, like we had this little enclosed porch in our apartment, and we were probably playing one of our stupid games, and the ceiling fan, like, heard it make a noise. We all looked up at the same time. I think he was walking underneath it. I don't remember. I know it was him. Like, the whole thing just went right in front of him, like at his feet. It was a weird place. But that's around the time, because he was like best friends with like a guy that I had dated, and like we were just like a close little group of misfits and stoners and the kids who didn't have it so hot at home. So we kind of gravitated towards each other because we had a lot in common. And it was before we all turned 21, so we had one friend who would get us, we just talked all the time. We had a blast. We were so like tight and protective of each other. And it's around this time, Jeremy was one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life, and he would just, I mean, so quick. And just crack stuff and it just be. He was foul. He was foul. He was an Aquarius, so he was foul as fuck. And he was hilarious. And one time, he started doing stand up. And comedy, like, it was his dream. It was his dream to be a stand up comedian, a successful one. And he was good. Oh my god, this guy was good. And he was so funny and so quick and so foul. And I mean, could just burn people so and it was smooth as butter. And hilarious. I mean, just so talented. And that's when he started getting into stand up. And we would always crack jokes, and he always told me that I was funny. And I was like, oh man, I wanted to be an actor. I was like a serious actor. And at this time I was doing theater, and I wanted to be an actor. And he talked me into it. He was like, you're funny. Let's write something. Come get up here with me. We'll do something. I was like, no man, I can't do that. That is scary. I can't get up there. He's like, no, you're going to, bitch. You're doing it. And they forced me. And I did it through the fear. Had a couple of drinks before I got up there. A couple shots. We got up there. And we ended up getting a standing ovation. We were fine. And when I started doing karaoke, and I know that's not exactly like, it was my foot in the door, and it built up my confidence to be able to perform and sing in front of people, because that was something that I was always afraid of. So when I started doing karaoke, running it, Jeremy was the one who taught me how to like work the crowd and crack the jokes and get people moving and get people dancing. But he knew how to work the energy in a group. He taught me how to do that. And he was so supportive of my creativity, so supportive of my dreams. And nobody else ever was. I mean, they'd be like, yeah, you're good, you can sing, and whenever you're just drinking, of course. But there was always, like, I felt like an animosity from people. But Jeremy knew what it was like, because he wanted the same thing. He had the same sort of dreams and goals, and they were big and outlandish and unbelievable to most people. He was good, and he would have made it. And he always encouraged me to keep going and keep doing it. But you know how life gets, and you know how people get. And, what are separate ways. I'm trying to keep in touch, but, that's that we never really, and he ended up getting married and having his own family, and he never gave up. He still did stand up on the weekends. He still went to radio. He still went for it, even though he had his 9 to 5 and then family and then issues, troubles, things, life agent. But he didn't give up. But there was one thing about all of us in this group, and it was that we all had addiction issues. We all had these terrible, horrible, traumatic childhoods that we also grew up in a place where it wasn't safe to talk about feelings or emotions or trauma or even be like remotely vulnerable, because that's a sign of weakness to a lot of the older generations, and it's always like, well, we had it hard, so you should have it hard too. You suck it up, you deal with it, I think it was the line in the Willwood song, Marsha, where he says, I can't remember how it goes, but it's something like, we all uh, we all bled out in the bath, and god damn it, we liked it. It's like you just deal with your shit. But that's the thing about that it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And if you can't go to people and say, hey, I'm having some issues right now, I need drinking a little too much, taking a few too many pills, whatever the underlying issue is. It didn't feel safe to do that. In fact, the doctor that I spoke about earlier was the only person that I ever felt like in that whole place and that whole time that I could do that. Where there wouldn't be some sort of judgment, or it wouldn't be repeated to other people, or it wouldn't be used against me, like held on to and used against me as like some sort of like punishment. And none of my other friends felt like they could reach out to people and talk about it, or felt like they had anybody that would understand. And that's what's funny is like none of us really talked to each other about those things. And if we had, we would have seen it, and we would have understood each other, and maybe it would have helped, and maybe we would have felt more comfortable to reach out for help when we needed it, instead of feeling judged and ridiculed. And I don't know if that's just what I feel about it. I don't even know if that's true, but that's how I felt like. And I feel like I knew a lot of these friends and I knew like what they grew up in, and I knew some of our other friends that it wasn't safe to be, and I don't think he ever got over his. And I'm around Christmas time, a few months before he passed away, I got this. I got this message from him, and at the time, it was really, really bad at home. I was just about to leave, and Mom had sprayed the chemicals all over the house. I couldn't go inside without I was so sick that I was sleeping in the car in the driveway by myself, sleeping in the car, my mom's car, in the driveway, because the chemicals were so strong, and they were like, they gaslight me about it, and I felt so horrible not leaving my kid sleeping in there, but my kid needed to sleep in bed, not in the car, you know what I mean? So, and I was sitting in the car, just about to fall asleep, and I got this message from him on Facebook. And I was going through so much at that time. And this is why it's so warped, but he was one of those people that I know, like if I had told him some of the things that were happening to me, that he would have jumped in his car and come and got me, and got us out, like, but it was so bad, and it was so much going on, I didn't want to put it on him, because I knew he had his wife and kids, and he had stuff, and I was afraid to tell him. I was afraid to tell him what was going on. And that was selfish and gross. Now, because I know the second he would have been there in court. But that's what I'm talking about. Because when you're so traumatized and you're so programmed to believe that you're a burden, first of all, that you're a burden, and that your problems are burdensome to other people, and that if you're vulnerable and you tell people what you're going through, that they're going to see it as weak, or they're going to create some narrative that you're crazy. And I didn't say anything. And the message said, "Hey buddy, just wanted to tell you I love you. I miss your face." I wasn't even thinking that he might need to talk to me, that he might need to say something to me, that he might need to get some, but I couldn't carry that either at that time. And now I recognize it. All I said to him was, "I love you too, man. I miss your face too." telling him about all the stuff that was going on because I was afraid he would like jump up and come get me and or fight somebody because he was the only guy also that one time a guy I was dating did something terrible to me, and I told him because I really loved him. He got it back, boy, because Jeremy was chivalrous too. He didn't take no shit. He didn't start no shit and lost the whole shit. You know what I mean? He was the most stand-up guy, like just a good human. He was my brother, and I wasn't. And what if we had talked to each other for like 5-10 minutes, and it would help both of us heal a little bit, still be, you know? I mean, it's stupid to think that way. It is stupid, but those things run through your head when you love and miss somebody. And then the new Eminem album came out. If he would have, because the first one came out, we were obsessed with it. I mean, it's just little things, and I can't imagine what his life would be. I didn't know them, I never got a chance to really meet them, so it feels weird to like reach out and be like, hey, you know, I think about it all the time. They're just really cute. And I feel such guilt for not. But I know that that's not it. And I know he was probably thinking those same things. You know, like, when he did reach out, he was probably thinking, I've got so much, I don't want to burden her. You know, I don't know what she, and that's, it's so stupid that we feel like that. Because people have made us feel like that. You know? For all the people that have made us feel like our problems are burdensome. Or that we don't deserve certain things. Or, you know, it's a lofty pipe dream to go after, you know, wanting to be an actor or a musician. You know, my mom used to say, there are real actors auditioning. When I know good and goddamn well in my soul that there is nobody more talented, you know, more qualified than me. And I'm listening to people who don't have. Why are they telling me that? Because they don't have, and because they wish they did. So they're trying to keep me feeling down so I don't put myself. And Jeremy was the only person in this world who I knew personally who wanted the same, had the same dreams as me, and went after it, and took all the shit from people, and didn't care. And up until the point where he was gone, he still fought for it. And he is the number one reason that I will never stop doing this, no matter who gets butthurt about it. I will never stop going after my dreams and putting myself out there. Because it took a lot of hard work and shadow work just to get myself in front of a camera. Nobody's going to take that shit away from me. And unfortunately, it got taken from me way too soon. And the world is missing out. The world of comedy is missing out on a legend. I mean, he even gave himself the nickname King. Because he fucking was the king. It's a real fucking shame. Because he was incredible. In all manners of ways. And bleeds for his family. And all the people that knew him know. All the people that knew him are better because of it. And it's just, those humans are rare. You know what I mean? Those humans are rare. The ones that land real old like a comet. But they weren't out just as fast as all legends. You know, all the good ones. And all the good ones have their demons too. And I am gonna fight mine like hell for Jeremy and for my other friends who didn't have the opportunity or the means to fight theirs. And there's one. Because of those, the handful of people, and the handful of people that did watch and follow through all of this and know what we went through, and weren't just like projecting and making us. They know. To them too, that we energetically held our hands and kept us alive. And some kept us alive through such traumatic events that it's hard to even not picture them and the traumatic scenario together now. And I don't know how to explain that any better. It's nothing personal. And I'm grateful. I get it now. They're connected to something that I don't have time to even work through yet. And I'm truly grateful for the ones that did see and held their hands through and stuff too. Oh my god, I miss days like this. I miss him. When I see like somebody on Saturday Night Live or just you know just anybody doing stand up, I think of him and I think of how the world is missing out on him, but the world is also better because of him, and mine is. And I will never give up my dreams, no matter what people try to fucking put me through, because of him, and because of him. In his honor, I'm gonna get to do things that he only dreamed of and isn't gonna get to. Every time, he's gonna be standing right there beside me, energetically holding my hand and grinning from ear to ear. I do wish with all my soul that he was really actually standing there. And I see his big goofy smile in my head sometimes. Or I'll hear it. I'll be doing something and I'll hear him go, well, that was stupid, wasn't it, bitch? You know, like this motherfucker right here. You know, like I hear him. I just laugh. And I know that fades. I know that fades like sometimes when people pass. You only hear their voice for so long before it's gone forever. And you can't remember what they sounded like. Sometimes what they look like unless you find pictures. I don't want that to ever happen. Because he's the reason. He's the reason that I keep posting and keep doing it. Everybody else tries to fucking block and make me feel stupid and make me feel some type of way about it. Because for all of that, you don't get it see what he does for you. And sometimes I like to get messages from him from Cards. Cards Against Humanity. You know that game. I did have a deck of those. I lost them before, but like I do tarot and stuff, and I'd always communicate with him through those. Because that's it's like his personality in a board game. You know what I mean? Fucking foul, just terrible. It's like horrible things. But the way he would deliver it, you couldn't help but just couldn't help but love it. And you just couldn't help but feel like your most authentic, true, like you could be totally comfortable being your authentic true self in front of him. He would never judge you. He would never make you feel stupid. He would always make you feel seen and heard and loved. But he'd also tease. He liked to tease. And like bonfires aren't the same. I haven't been to a stand up. I used to work in one. That's what. Still haven't been in one since. But his memory keeps me pushing through some of those fears because he was fucking fearless. I mean, I've never met anybody that was more fearless than Jeremy. In that aspect, he's also a huge inspiration because I'm terrified of everything. And thinking about him also helps me push through things that I'm afraid of and realize that there's really nothing to fear. We're all just a bunch of stupid assholes anyway. They all shit and they all stink. You know, he'd always remind me, don't fucking worry about what they think. You worry about what you think. I got you. You do. You know, and that's when I would like here they try to set up this scenario, this narrative that I'm crazy. Like when I tried to talk to them about like grieving over my mother, it's like, well, you do need to, we'll send you to a mental health facility. Do you know what grief is? Have you ever has anybody you loved ever died? Grief is a little different than like, you know, schizophrenia, and you can't like exactly set up a scenario or a narrative that somebody's crazy because they're grieving like 8 deaths in a very short time span. It's just I don't know. But, I'm like, and then I think of my friend Erin. I think of her too, and she and Jeremy, we were all a little group, and she was also one of those girlfriends that wasn't a pick me, was a girl's girl, and like she also supported my dreams and ambitions and talents because she had something to them. And that's the thing about childhood trauma. Certain types of childhood trauma lead to addiction. And if there's no proper outlet to get to the root of those things, and you don't feel safe enough to talk to the people that you should be able to talk to or ask for help from, and they make you feel burdensome or they make you feel dirty or wrong for having addictions or having these coping mechanisms that come from trauma, and they make you feel terrible about it, well then you're not going to ask for help. And then what happens? You're going to internalize that. You're going to internalize the shame. And you're going to keep trying to find an outlet to quiet those voices and quiet that shame and numb it. And eventually you're either going to figure it out and you're going to stop, or you're gonna get help, or it's gonna take you out. And sometimes, so that's why I do this too, and advocate for mental health awareness and addiction and LGBT issues. It's because all the things that I grew up believing that were shameful, inherently flawed about me, from people who were actually shameful and inherently flawed. Um, if you listen to those people, you listen to those voices, that can take you down. And it almost did, several times for me. I don't know how I survived. I had a tolerance like Ozzy Osbourne. Dude, it was insane the amount I could put down of things, all things. I survived for a reason. I'm still here. I survived all of that for a reason. Nobody can tell me any different, and nobody can tell me I don't deserve. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason I'm still here, I'm still alive, and still able to sit here and talk about these gorgeous, beautiful humans that are not. But their memory keeps me going, and they are still always with me. Because they didn't have, well, if there's not something for it, you figure it out, right? You put something together, you fight for it, you talk about it, you bring awareness to it, you bring other people into it, and they help you figure out a way, a plan, with any scenario, really. So, there's been so many instances where those things were put in front of me like a plan or help, and it turned out not being that way. But because I survived all that and learned so much, then maybe there's a reason. Maybe I'm supposed to. I just miss them fucking terrible sometimes. Sometimes. Especially on days when I'm in horrible pain and I'm sick and I feel helpless and alone and I don't have like another day of me having to walk miles to get anything, to figure things. And I'm just fucking, I'm strained and I'm so tired and I'm so sad. But I think about them and at least I'm still here, right? Because you're supposed to be grateful you're supposed to think of it. I don't think, even on days like this, I don't think it's all in vain. And they're still there with me. They are my nieces. They are the reason why they keep watching, even on days when I don't want to. Because it feels helpless and hopeless. Which is, I think, it was the plan. So, when it starts to get like that, then I think about them and I hear his voice in my head. And I hear, like, don't you let these fucking bitches treat you like, don't you let them. You want me to fucking, I'll fucking, I hear him. It's like, no, man, I've got it. No, I don't think you do, bitch. I think you need to, He's right. Yeah, for a reason. Because I do believe that if you do feel seen by even just one person, that one person who saw me and made me feel like I could keep going, that saw me and not like some projection of me or what they thought I was supposed to be or trying to push these narratives onto me, and just let me be me. that one person who sees you can help you in turn to see yourself in a way you didn't before. And then once you start to show up and be your authentic self and fight for the things you love and do the things you love to do regardless of how people treat you or what they think about it, then for that handful of shitty ass people, there's going to be a handful of people that need what you're doing, what you're putting out there. You can in turn change that for someone else and show them what they're seeing in their life and their world. It's just little things, little tiny things that can change a whole life and can move mountains. And regardless of all the drama and bullshit and all the projections people try to put on me and make me feel guilty about being and doing and saying, and because they feel that way about that stuff, I hold on to those people who do see love and feeling for me. And then it helps me just push those people aside. They don't matter. What matters is what you want, what you need, what you love, what you were created to do, using the talents that God gave you, not them. There's a reason He didn't give it to them, and it's because they probably would have not shown up in the same way you do, which the way you show up might help a lot more people. They might be arrogant, they might be greedy with it, they might do things, there's a reason why you were given this battle, you were given this path, you were given these talents and abilities. You were given these people on your path who was supposed to light up for you the darkness that you didn't see before, so that you could heal it and you could recognize it, and then you could go out and do better and be better. So I will never ever stop doing this. I'll figure out what I'm doing with it. It's none of your business. Don't worry about it. Right now it's a little clusterfucky. We're getting there. We're getting there. And I'm doing it not just for I am doing it for them to honor them, but I'm also doing it for me. Because I wasted 40 some odd years of my fucking life being and doing what everybody else wanted me to do and be, and they didn't love, see, or recognize.